Hi kids, welcome to, I'm not even sure if this video is going out in 2025, but I'm shooting it on the 21st of December 2025. We're talking about, as promised, Babylon 5. One of my subscribers super kindly sent me the full set of Babylon 5 on DVD. These are in incredibly good condition. I'm well chuffed. So it's 5 seasons plus the feature-length pilot episode, which I'm told not to watch straight away. Each season has 4 discs in it, so quite a lot to get through. And as I've said in the past, this used to air on TV, I think on a Sunday afternoon, and I only ever caught the odd sporadic episode, and I never really got into it because to me it felt a bit too much like Deep Space Nine, which was a lot of talking and a lot of politics, which didn't float my boat at the time. I would like to say here that it just dawned on me that in the summer of 1993, I'd become a father for the first time. So for at least the first year or so, I was too busy changing nappies and doing my best to cope with a newborn baby. So, that also added to the lack of TV time. But older, and some would say wiser, some wouldn't say wiser, I've always been curious about, watching the whole thing. So it started yesterday on my birthday, in fact. I thought I'd watch the first season. And as I say, there are 4 discs, but I have just finished watching the first 4 episodes on disc 1. And you have to forgive me about, I can't make any predictions or, well, I can make guesses, obviously, but I can't talk about things in context because I haven't seen the others. Other people have the benefit of hindsight and seeing the bigger picture. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. What year was it? Was it the 90s? 1993 and 94. So they're as old as my oldest child. So basically, it sets up the main characters and the setting and the place, which is called Babylon 5. And what did I think of it? Well, it's episodic. I'm told that does change. There's more of a story arc as we move into the show. But the first season apparently is quite episodic, very Star Trek, mystery or creature of the day. And it's good, though. It's good. The characters are not jumping out at me yet. There's no major favorites. I like the look of most of these characters. I think the makeup for Jakar is absolutely fantastic. He's very cool. And I really like, I wonder if he's on here somewhere. Where's Ambassador Kosh? Kosh is this, he's not on the cover of any of these. That's a shame. Maybe he doesn't have a big enough role, I don't know. Obviously in the first season we don't get the great Bruce Boxleitner. And it looks like, according to this, the character of Delenn, played by the late Mira Furlan, she starts off kind of looking like this, and she ends up with hair. Maybe she didn't like the outfit. Anyway, these things do change over time, and it's interesting. There's a lot more action in it than I thought there'd be. It's not as talky as I thought it'd be, but maybe that does change. I don't know. The CGI is, from what I understand, quite early days. Early 90s was a time when CGI first started getting used, and it was rare to see full CGI space sequences on a TV budget. And this is quite low budget for the time, and the software used, I'm told, was Lightwave, as opposed to the more modern things like, oh goodness me, well, there's so many different packages, but at the time there was Lightwave, Softimage, there was no Blender, there was 3D Studio Max, But things have moved on with proprietary software by these CG animation companies, RenderMan, etc. So I don't mind that the CGI is a little shiny and a little kind of, lens flary and of the era. I don't mind that too much. I can live with that. I will say though, the earlier space sequences that you used to get in Battlestar Galactica, for example, or Buck Rogers in the 25th century, all done on models with blue screen compositing. While their sequences were mostly reused and recycled for costs, they did look much more dynamic. Babylon 5 was notorious for having lots of nebula in the background, because if you've got a big black expanse, for want of a better word, it's hard to pick things out. But with a nebula, you could put some color behind the space station, etc. And it's very stylistic, and it's a choice, and it's fine. I do like Jakar. I'm not a big fan of Londo. He's a bit one note at the moment. He comes across like a Ferengi because he's sort of always angry about something and always trying to be smarter than everyone else. And those kind of weaselly characters I'm not massively in love with. There's some nice guest stars. I spotted Clive Revill, who first played voiced the Emperor in The Empire Strikes Back before Ian McDiarmid took over. David McCallum from Sapphire and Steel and The Invisible Man and The Man from U.N.C.L.E., etc. And things like that. And it's okay. It's okay. It's like I say, it's years old, but it's interesting for me to treat it as a new show to watch. It's all on DVD. I'm going to see if I can keep up with this regularly. I've got through, like I say, the first disc of 4 for season 1, and we'll see how it turns out. I do like Claudia Christian's character, Susan Ivanova. She's sort of occasionally you hear a bit of a Russian accent coming out, but she's a bit underused in these first 4 episodes. But then there's quite a big cast. I think there's at least 8 characters. So not all of them get their moment in the spotlight just yet. But like I say, this is not a massively full review. One thing that kind of, I'm not going to say let me down, it's more a kind of, well, it's kind of obvious, is that the sets and props, the props are really nice, the tech is really good, the costumes are good, but the sets, there is a number of, look, I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and people always say about Doctor Who, wobbly sets, but I've never seen a set wobble in Doctor Who. But in Babylon 5, I've seen a number of wobbly things. In one episode, I think it was episode 3, Clive Revill puts a card into a card reader to open a door, and the wall goes doing, doing, doing. And in, I think, the very first episode, a woman leans on the bar, and the bar top goes like this. But you do see a lot of MDF and painted polystyrene and paint that's been sponged on. It does look, hats off to Star Trek The Next Generation, or even the original series. It all looked very professionally made and didn't look cobbled together. But I even noticed an improvement on the second episode, because the first episode was a pilot, so you tend to do things on a lower budget just as a proof of concept. So I can understand why the sets are a little bit rough and ready in some places in the first episode. But the second episode, they get better. There's a lot of stuff you can spot, like pallets and metal plate and things that are used in everyday, life kind of thing. Boxes and camera boxes that have been painted up with logos and all this kind of stuff. And it's all interesting stuff to see. And eye candy for the geek, I guess. And we'll continue. We'll continue. I am very excited to see Bruce Boxleitner take over as Commander Sheridan. But I don't know anything about his character, really. I know he did say in one of these episodes, "Get the hell out of my galaxy," or something like that. So who knows? There are no bonuses on the first disc, but the rest of the discs have lots of bonus features. So who knows? Who knows? And talking of who, the creator of Babylon 5, Joe Straczynski, I think I said in a previous video, he moved to the UK recently with the potential plan of chasing the showrunner job on Doctor Who. And even before I'd seen Babylon 5, I know of his comic books and his other creative stuff and things he's produced. I think he's a good man for the job. Anyway, that's my minor review of the first 4 episodes of Babylon 5, how I'm feeling it, how I'm getting into it. A big thanks again to my subscriber who sent me these. I shall try and do you proud and get through the lot at some point. It's probably going to take all of 2026. But good start, a good start. You know, I haven't, you know, the worst thing would be to watch 2 episodes and go, oh, this is awful, I can't watch this. In which case, it would be a wasted gift, but I'm enjoying it. It's fine. Anyway, that's it for now. Like I say, I don't know whether this video is going out in 2025. I might be able to slip it in before the end of the year, or should I just move it forward to 2026 and start in earnest? Nah, I'll probably put it out 2025. So if you're watching this before the new year, I hope you had a nice Christmas, or I hope you have a nice Christmas, depending on when you watch it. I had a very, very quiet but fun birthday yesterday, and it was nice to get well wishes from everybody on the social media and all that kind of stuff. And I got some nice things. I got, you know, not a lot, but I got like small stuff. I got the things that, you know, to say the thought that counts and all that malarkey. It's basically like that. It's like, you know, some thoughtful stuff, and it's cool. So again, I hope you have a nice Christmas and New Year. 2026 is on to bigger and better things. Who knows? And I shall see you soon. Take care now. Merry Christmas.